How about there is an IMA report saying that about 83% of Indian doctors are stressed out. Do you agree with this finding of the IMA?
Could you explain Bharat through socio-economic perspective?
How do we distinguish between a person who is humble and a person who is submissive?
So what are the reasons why South Indian movies are getting so much famous? Give me at least 5 reasons.
What are the major steps have been taken by the government to ensure mental health of the people across the country?
May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Please give a brief introduction about yourself.
Sir, my full name is Drishti Pavandatta and I am 25-year-old. I hail from Tirupati district of Andhra Pradesh, and I am an MBBS graduated from Sri Venkateswara Medical College, Tirupati, sir. And my father works at LIC and my mother is a teacher. And my interests include I sing Annamacharya Sankirtanas and I play violin, and I also take guest teaching sessions at government schools, sir.
Pavandatta, you have done your MBBS.
Yes, sir.
Doctors are considered to be next to the gods, isn't it?
Yes.
When the patient is in distress, entire family looks up to doctor for relief, for giving necessary succor. So why are you leaving your noble profession to join the civil services?
Sir, I'm very fortunate for being as a doctor, sir. As you rightly mentioned, we are seen next to God. Sir, but I also feel that there are a plethora of opportunities even in the field of administration which can also address the grassroots level problems, sir. For example, health has been having the social consequences and it has social determinants also, sir. So I feel after seeing the success of COVID-19 pandemic especially, sir, I feel the success can be attributed equally to doctors and equally to administration as well, sir. So I feel I can bring much more impact and also in the field of administration, sir, at the grassroots level.
Pavandatta, if you get selected in the Indian Administrative Service, certainly it's going to be, you are going to be an asset for the Indian Administrative Service. But don't you think simultaneously it is going to be a loss to the medical fraternity?
Sir, on a quantitative scale, definitely it could be perceived as a loss, sir. But I think I'll be able to complement my colleagues being in the administration, sir. I think that can be also one of the addition which I'm doing in the other sphere of the administration, and it could be an asset in the field of administration to the country, sir.
Okay, what are the problems faced by doctors in India?
Sir, there are different problems faced by the hospital setup or maybe the doctors in urban and also rural areas, sir. Especially in the rural areas, we do not have any significant infrastructure which is being there. And we are perceiving towards the mandatory rural postings of doctors, sir. But doctors are not willing. That is one of the problems. In the even in the urban setup, sir, we are facing with the lack of funds from the government, especially in the government setup, and in the private setup as well, sir. With the loss of ethical values, that some of the doctors are compromising their ethical values, and that is also one of the problems which doctors are facing, sir.
How about there is an IMA report saying that about 83% of Indian doctors are stressed out. Do you agree with this finding of the IMA?
Sir, I am not aware of the exact findings, sir, but I think the majority of the doctors are under the stress because of majority of the reasons as well, sir. One of the reasons could be that there is no significant timings for the doctors, sir. They are expected to be available for 24/7 and they sometimes ignore their family also. So I think these are some of the factors which can contribute to the stress of the doctor, sir. But I think we should also see the backside of the coin. Doctors are made to serve the public on a larger extent. I think they should be accustomed even to the what are the pressures they are getting in the field, sir. I think that emotional intelligence training and maybe giving some frequent breaks to doctors can also help in this, sir.
Why very often we see incidents of assault to doctors? What are the reasons for that?
Sir, this can be looked in a multifaceted way. One could be the gross negligence of the doctors, which is happening, sir, definitely, that we cannot ignore. And second, sir, because these incidents are happening especially when there is a situation of life and death, especially in the emergency situations. So I think, sir, from the public also that rage is coming because of death of an individual. I think there should be a line drawn to that, sir, to protect even the doctors, and also doctors should also be taught these kind of emotional intelligence trainings, etc., so that will not occur, sir.
There is also a common perception that there exists a strong nexus between big pharmaceutical firms and doctors. How far this is true according to you?
Sir, we should definitely accept it, sir. It is definitely a reality. That is 100% true, sir.
Is there any hope for to arrest this growth of this trend?
Sir, definitely there is a hope, and I think the government is taking right steps in that direction, sir. For example, bringing Ayushman Bharat, the digital health mission, so that all the impaneled private hospitals would be linked to the unique health ID, and there would be a lot of transparency and accountability that could be made on the part of doctors, especially giving medicines or maybe the diagnostic sectors also. And sir, that can be in the short term or maybe in the medium term. But long term, sir, definitely the behavioral changes that needs to be brought out. Maybe, for example, the model code of conduct, or maybe the ethical rules that can be brought out, both for the pharmaceutical companies as well as doctors, sir.
You spoke of Ayushman Bharat. Do you think that insurance model has been a successful model in our country?
Sir, we are moving towards out of pocket from the out of pocket expenditure to the national health insurance model, sir. Definitely. It has its own challenges as well, sir. We have seen in many of the states, for example, in Andhra Pradesh, we have YSR Arogyasri, sir. So it is also performing so much well, and also the out-of-pocket expenditure has been 79% even for the primary health care, sir, especially in the rural setup. I think yes, the insurance is needed, sir, but there are also challenges because we will be using them for the other purposes also. For example, deliberate usage of the diagnostics, etc. That should be curbed, sir, I think, from the doctors.
One final question from my side. What the pandemic has taught you as a doctor?
Sir, as a doctor, definitely I have been enlightened with some of spirituality also, sir, because we don't know when we'll die. So that has also made me to integrate Ayush in the modern medicine also, sir. So as a doctor, that I have learned. And second, sir, lot of patience and lot of empathy, compassion towards the other beings. Even that has taught me this.
How do you define a resilient healthcare?
Sir, it would be very difficult to define in a very narrow manner, sir. So I think it has to be a very broader way in the definition. So I think, sir, we should be able to cope up with any emergency kind of situations like pandemic, sir. I think that could be one of the definitions for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Pavandatta.
Yes, yes.
Who is Pavan Putra?
Sir, Anjaneya Swami, sir.
Explain something more.
Sir, he has been the Shakti, sir. He is not the direct son of Vayuputra. We cannot call him as a Vayuputra. He is not a biological child, sir. But he has been. There is also a lot of controversy behind this theory. So I think, sir, after Lord Parameshwara asked Vayu to give that Shakti to the Anjana Devi, then I think he has been born, sir.
Okay, that is why he is known as Anjani Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Pavan, there are three marg: Bhakti marg, Karma marg, and Gyan marg. If we try to explain Anjani Kumar or Pavan Putra,
Yes.
How can we associate him with any of these margas? Which marg is best suitable for him?
Sir, I think it has been culmination of everything, sir. We cannot delineate him from karma marg or gnana marg or bhakti marg. So, sir, for example, with your permission, I can explain.
Yes, certainly.
It. Sir, one is bhakti, and he has been always in bhakti with Lord Rama. He has been the ardent disciple of him, sir.
Yes.
Even the karma marga, he has been doing his duties perfectly, whatever being said from the Rama or maybe their king Sugriva. And sir, even the Jnana marga, he is known to be Jnana Guna Sagar. So I think, sir, the culmination of everything is the Lord Anjaneya, sir.
That is good. Pavan, you had teaching sessions on science awareness in government schools. So, how you have popularized science at school level?
Sir, especially in the rural setup, sir, I've been observing things, especially in the health sector of science awareness. There are very blind practices which they go, sir. So it has motivated me that I should contribute something to them. For example, sir, there is jaundice and they go and burn the hand for that. So this is kind of blind belief. and they also don't go for doctor's checkup also immediately after the symptoms come. So I think these are the things which motivated me that I should do as a doctor professional also. So I think that I have started, sir, in the same way.
Pavan, do you have any idea about Vedic mathematics?
Sir, I have heard about it, but
Yeah.
I don't have any clear-cut idea about it, sir.
Okay, no problem. Tirupati.
Yes.
What can you explain Tirupati through sociology and anthropology?
Sir, sociologically, I might not be having a very great idea about explaining the things, sir, especially, but I am very much aware of the persisting caste system and child marriages, etc., especially in Tirupati. But as a student of anthropology also, I can think of the sacred complex of Tirupati, sir. So how the Tirupati itself been evolved from a small temple called as Govindaraja Swami temple when Ramanujacharya has come there. So that could be one of the concept. And second, sir, even the anthropological significance, we have some remains that are there, sir, archaeological evidences near the Tirupati also. So I think that is also one of the significant aspects of archaeological anthropology. And with regard to sociological, the socio-cultural anthropology also, sir, we are also witnessing a kind of cosmopolitan culture even in Tirupati, sir. So I think these are some of the aspects which I can think right now.
Okay. Max Weber, the sociologist from Germany,
Yes.
he linked Protestant ethics with the development of capitalism. Okay.
Yes.
And then he said that in West it is possible, but in India it is not possible. But certain studies prove that Tirupati, one of the important centers, where even the temples, they are not just the landed owner or landowner, but also contributed to development of capitalism. What is your opinion about this?
So, sir, Tirupati has always been a culturally significant town. But sir, coming to the capitalism, obviously we'll be seeing a lot of businesses there around the city, sir. I think right now I can think of only that thing because we'll be seeing right from a small 10 rupee product to even the 1,000 rupee.
What is the earning of Tirupati?
Sir, I am not very.
You don't have the idea, so you are not in a position to.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Last question from my side. Since you have studied anthropology, how could you explain Bharat through socio-economic perspective?
Sir, the Bharat can be the mixture of all the races, especially in the anthropological significance, sir, if we call. And also it has been the abode of the caste system as well. And it has also been a lot of diversity among the even the archaeological evidences right from the Kanyakumari to the recent Kiladi expedition that we have got through. And there was a lot of contradictions with Indus Valley civilization also. So, sir, I think these are the evidences which can change the course of history as well, according to Anthropological Survey of India also. I think, sir, Bharat is always in the culmination of diversity and all these things, sir, anthropologically.
Who is the author of Tolkappiyam?
Sir, I am not exactly.
What is Tolkappiyam?
If I am not wrong, it is a Sangam text.
Tamil grammar. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Pavan, I was carefully watching you. I found you to be quite a pleasant person.
Thank you, sir.
But there was some kind of indication of being submissiveness in your personality. How do you rate a person who is humble to the extent of being submissive, though pleasant, to be administrator? Do you think that will make out to be a good administrator?
Sir, I'm quite surprised by the things, sir, because I was generally, I would be telling that you are not a very submissive personality, sir. It is the first time I'm hearing. But sir, if I'm appearing to be submissive, maybe this in the formal setup, but sir, I'm not very submissive personality, sir. I'm very dynamic, and as you can see in my DAF also, I've been a very diverse profile as well, sir. But as you rightly emphasized, the submissive personality can be can be having hindrance in the administration as well, sir. So I think persons should be dynamic and also humble equally, sir.
Okay. That means how do we distinguish between a person who is humble and a person who is submissive? And if there is, of course, somebody among your colleagues or junior who is submissive, how do you train him, or how do you mentally mentoring him to become humble without being submissive?
Sir, one main difference which I can think right now is submissive being that not at all raising his or her voice, when some grave injustice is happening, even from the superiors or bosses. Sir, humble could be being with a lot more calm, composed, along with a lot of discipline, maybe in front of the elders or maybe in the administrative field as well, sir. That could be one of the differences which I can make right now. So regarding the second part, so I think we should be able to communicate to him that you need not be submissive, because bosses should be there, or maybe the superiors or the elders should be there to convince people. So I can also instill some leadership traits in him through counseling sessions, sir. So that I can do. That is.
Now, looking at the larger picture at the national level, do you think that the present political environment in the country is trying to convert citizens into submissive human beings rather than humble human beings?
Sir, it could be looked upon definitely that people are becoming so much submissive, sir, but I think it's the otherwise, sir. So I beg to differ with the opinion.
No, the kind of restrictions the state is imposing on persons who are freely airing their views, expressing their views on different social media channels or otherwise, are being haunted and penalized. There are many cases, and there is a perception in the country that the freedom of speech and expression is not as freely available today as it used to be. So, do you think that it is an attempt to make a submissive nation?
Sir, I don't. Sir, I beg to differ with the view, sir. Definitely, because we have been coming from the anarchy of a British Empire to the present independent India, sir. It has been a very long journey for us. Sir, there might be some disturbances which are happening in the political arena because of conflicting ideologies. But as a nation, we are not becoming submissive, sir. For example, recently there were agitations regarding the legalizing the same-sex marriages also, and there are also live-in relationships, etc. And they have been we have conferred rights to women entry into Sabarimala temple also. I think we are growing, sir, but there would be definitely some disturbances in nation that we are dealing. Sir.
No, there are many examples of world perception. For example, you know that for last 1 decade or so, we have drastically reduced poverty in our country. But the international agencies are reporting that our poverty index and hunger index has gone stronger. That means there is a perception in the world that India is now a country of larger number of hungry people, and the hunger intensity is also growing. And we have not been effectively able to counter it. So our perception in the world, do you think is going into a positive direction as far as poor citizens of the country are concerned?
Sir, as you rightly mentioned, that we should acknowledge the fact that the perception has been on a downturn, sir, definitely, especially in the hunger and poverty index. But I'm not very much aware of the exact facts of the situation, sir. Sir, but I think we are moving in a very good direction, sir. We have been improving on the poverty terms. Maybe we have been improved from down to up in the multi-poverty dimensional index also, multi-dimensional poverty index also. And sir, I think we are moving in a right direction, but it could be a perception difference that is there in the international media also, sir.
Multi-dimensional poverty index is different from the earlier UNDP indicator that was called human poverty index, in the sense that it gives weightage to asset creation in favor of poor persons, like toilet construction kind of things. Do you think that due to adoption of MPI, we are diverting resources from food allocation to asset creation, and that is exacerbating our hunger problem?
Sir, we cannot say that, sir, exactly, because, sir, even in the pandemic, if we consider, we have been the topmost country that we have managed the pandemic so well, especially with the schemes, especially in the PDS system, sir. We have been a lot of reforms, and still we are digitalizing it. So we are bringing all these food index towards the poor. And also regarding the asset creation, sir, even if you take this the hierarchy of needs, so definitely people will go for the first physiological needs. They want shelter, they want some assets to be there. So I think we are delicately balancing the both, sir. I think yes, that could be an.
You come from a region which is called Rayalaseema, which has been very rich in cultivation of crops because it is having a very favorable soil structure and drainage system. Its climate is also favorable. But the farmers there are agitating for last 3-4 years against non-fulfillment of promises by the government agencies in terms of procurement of their crops. And not only in your region, that is in many parts of Tamil Nadu, in Maharashtra, in Punjab, Haryana, farmers are agitating against the policies of the policy indifference of the state but the state appears to be insensitive to their concerns and their demands. They are not being taken seriously.
Sir, again, I beg to differ with the statement, sir. Because, sir, Kadapa is a very low-level groundwater state and also completely depends upon the rainfed, sir. So, and with the total gross cropped area is equal to the net cropped area, so we can also see that farmers are unaware of the multi-cropping system, and there is also no proper irrigation facilities, sir. There are now the government is moving towards it with the schemes like Jala Yagnam or maybe having Raitu Bharosa Kendras, etc. in Andhra Pradesh, sir. And sir, as seeing in the SDG index also published by Niti Aayog in 2019 and 20, I think we are not very much performing well in these aspects, sir. So government is having a lot of revenue expenditure in the terms of the agriculture or maybe these kind of things. So I think, sir, we are moving towards it, but sir, definitely farmers need much more. That is not just we cannot limit themselves to a particular criteria, sir. I think lot needs to be done, sir.
So my apprehension appears to be a little true. You are submissive in not criticizing the government honestly. You are not able to air the concerns of farmers.
Sir, I am very much empathetic with the farmers, sir. But the government, I think government is doing well for them, sir. I think that my point is that we should do much more.
Do you treat the farmers' concern as insane reflection of their feelings? Are they not having logical grievances?
So they are having logical grievances and we need to go and admit them, sir.
So just point out, my last question, point out 3-4 genuine concerns and problems of the farmers in the country.
Sir, some problems which I can think right now are the supply chains of the farmers, sir, which might be disrupted. And second could be the lack of awareness among them regarding the cropping season or maybe the rain-fed nature and lack of irrigation facilities for them, sir. And sir, they are going into debt cycle because of these intermediaries which are there for the loans. So I think these are some of the genuine problems of farmers, sir.
So most of the problems they are themselves to blame for, no?
Sir, it would be very wrong to say that, but sir, there is also multifaceted problem even from the side of the banks or maybe from the side of government schemes. But I think we are moving in a very good direction with a lot of schemes.
Okay, thank you, Pavan.
Pavandatta,
Sir.
You gave very good answers.
Thank you, sir.
Tell me about Tirupati Balaji temple. There are a few miracles for that this temple is famous for.
Sir, recently in 2020, a miracle has happened, sir. So with your permission, can I briefly explain?
Yeah, please. In short.
Yes, sir. Sir, he was a person of 21 year old from England. So he has a speech impairment, sir. So he has no speech from the birth. So once he came and uttered, when he saw the Lord, so he has uttered Govinda directly. So it has been a sensation in a very recent, sir. And there are many miracles as well. So I think that's the belief that we keep on Lord Venkateshwara, sir.
What is the Guinness World Record of Tirumala?
Sir, I am not very much aware of the exact fact, but sir, if you allow me to guess, I can.
Please.
Sir, it would be the largest, the treasure of the entire world, sir. The temple which is having the largest treasure.
Where Purva Tirupati Balaji Mandir is situated?
Sir, I'm sorry, sir, I did not get.
Purva Tirupati Balaji Mandir.
Sir, I'm not very aware of the Purva temples.
Okay, just leave it. Now we should move towards your studies. You did medicines. So nowadays traditional system of medicines are getting more popular. What is this traditional system of medicines?
Sir, traditional medicine has been simply abbreviated as Ayush medicine, sir, right from Ayurveda to homeopathy.
Okay. And what is contribution of India in this?
Sir, India's contributions have been very much immense in the field of Ayush, sir, right from the ancient India to the present era also. We are taking inspiration from Sushruta, maybe Charaka also. So I think, sir, we have been doing it very immensely, but unfortunately we have lost on after maybe in the past 100 years or so, sir.
So could you please explain Ayush? What is Ayush? And from where its origin also?
Sir, Ayush stands for Ayurveda, Unani, Yoga, Naturopathy, and Siddha and Homeopathy, sir.
Okay.
So, sir, there are different places of origin for different fields of the alternative medicine, sir, which we call right now. Ayurveda is of Indian origin, sir. And there is a German, the modern practitioner of medicine, sir, I forgot his name, but he is the main inventor of the homeopathic medicine, and the Siddha, Unani, and these are from different religious aspects also, sir. For example, Unani is from the Islamic religion, so, and the Siddha can be from the Buddhism.
From where Unani started means?
Sir, exactly, I am not aware of the place.
Okay, and what about yoga?
Sir, yoga has been the Indian origin, sir.
Indian origin.
Yes,
Who
sir.
started yoga? Who is the father of yoga?
Sir, now exactly I am not able to recall the name, sir.
You could not recall the name. What is exactly, matlab, from where it started? Yoga is what?
Sir, it was initially mentioned in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, sir, about all the asanas, etc. So they tell the theory that by doing asanas and manipulation of the body, so our health would be improved. But exactly what is the mechanism, I am not aware of this.
Yoga is just a group of asanas?
Sir, it's more
or is there any more significance of yoga?
Sir, it's more of coordination between the mind, soul and body, sir. So that is what
you heard yoga philosophy?
Sir, yes, I've heard about it, sir, but I might not be able to explain it in a very elaborate manner, sir.
So is it a philosophical thing or just a group of asanas, that's it?
So it's a kind of philosophy, sir. It's also one of the schools of thought in the ancient India as well.
Could you explain a bit more?
Sir, I might not be able to correctly explain, sir. It will be a blunder if I tell wrong.
Okay. Pawan, you come from South India.
Yes, sir.
And nowadays South Indian movies are getting more popular,
Yes,
pan India, I would say.
yes, sir.
And even abroad, they are getting much more prizes and recognition as well. So what are the reasons why South Indian movies are getting so much famous?
Sir,
Give
can
me
I
at
take a
least
moment?
5 reasons.
Sir, some reasons which I can think right now are, sir, they are coming with a very good content and appealing content nowadays, sir, than compared to the past. And second is even in the usage of technology, sir. For example, Rajamouli, he is using the advanced technologies. Even he is hiring the technicians from the abroad also. So that could be one of the reasons. And three, sir, the budgetary allocation has been increased, so the quality content is coming. And sir, four, the advertisements which they are giving, they are propagandizing in a very great manner because of the advent of social media, etc. So I think that these are some of the reasons which I can think right now.
Okay. Who is your favorite actor?
Sir, it would be very difficult to choose one, sir.
Or actress?
Sir, even the actors also, sir, it would be very difficult to choose.
You watch Bollywood movies also?
No, sir, I don't watch Bollywood movies.
You watch South Indian movies?
Yes, sir. Especially I watch Telugu movies, sir.
Only Telugu movies?
Yes, sir.
Who is your favorite actor or actress in Telugu movies?
Sir, I don't have any proper favorite actor, sir. I go by storyline, sir. So if I love the story, I will love to watch.
Could you please tell me the name of 2 Telugu actor and actresses?
Sure, sir. Sir, actors, I can say of Allu Arjun and Pawan Kalyan, sir. And in the actors, I can remember Anushka and Tamanna also, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Pavandatta,
Ma'am.
how do you define anthropology?
Madam, anthropology is a holistic study of man across time and space, ma'am.
Okay. So there is a very thin line difference between anthropology and sociology.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is that? How do you see it?
Madam, in sociology, we study about, especially the area of study is the society, ma'am. But in anthropology, it is always a holistic, that we also study the societal aspects of the man. But also there is a lot more things to study in anthropology, madam.
Okay, a lot more things. For example?
For example, we have 4 branches in anthropology, madam, right from archaeological anthropology to the linguistic aspects of anthropology. So I think these are the elements which are there.
Cite me any prominent work of any anthropologist, which is very much relevant even in sociology and also in anthropology.
Madam, I can think of a very famous Indian anthropologist and also proclaimed the sociologist, M.N. Srinivas, ma'am. So he has been one of the works for the dominant caste of Rampura. So I think even the dominant caste is playing very important role even in the political era or maybe in the economic arena also, ma'am.
Oh, good. See, Pavandatta, these days, as the urbanization, which is in spade, which we cannot even think of stopping it. But the point is that it is generating a lot of causes as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
For example, if we see at present time, the cause of waste management, the issue of waste management is very, very important and is concerning also. And if I am not wrong, then Tirupati has also, in Tirupati there is a liquid waste management factory or some institute has been established, right?
Yes,
so how to tackle such kind of issues? How can you, what are the measures would you suggest, through which we can manage wastes in a very creative way?
Madam, one creative step or maybe the common step which we generally miss out could be the segregation of the waste, madam, that we are missing out. And second is, madam, establishing the plant itself with a lot of quality, because there was an allegation in the in Brahmapuram in Kerala that the plant was not working very properly. So that was one of the issues that we can tackle. And three could be, madam, we can also give the technologies of bioremediation technologies to that is one of the, and fourth can be, madam, conversion of waste to energy plants. That also can be one of the steps that we can take, ma'am.
Okay, great. The issue of mental health is again very, very important.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are the major steps have been taken by the government to ensure mental health of the people across the country?
Madam, some steps which I can think right now are, it has brought out, the Parliament has brought out the Mental Health Care Act of 2017, ma'am, which decriminalized suicide based upon the mental health. So that is one of the steps. And second is, there are several portals like Manodarpan portal, and there are helpline centers also to tackle the mental health issue, madam.
Okay. Since you have taught as a guest teacher also,
yes,
right, and specifically in the discipline of science.
Yes, ma'am.
Then if I ask that, how can you ensure, among the students, mental health, as well as how can you guide them towards sex education? What would be your 3 innovative ways?
Madam, regarding the mental health issues with regard to the science awareness in the schools, madam, especially I see that majority the explicit content is being viewed by the youth also, madam. Even in the schools, it has been on increase. So I think that awareness can be brought out, because it is also affecting the mental health of the people, especially in the long run, madam. So that could be one of the things. And second, madam, we should also be asking them to go to playgrounds and play. So our healthy body will also produce healthy mind, madam. So I would also motivate them to go and play rather than playing in the mobiles like PUBG games, etc. And regarding the other aspects of sex education, ma'am, yes, it is very much appropriate now to talk about sex education, madam. But rather than sex education, we should also more emphasize, especially to the school children, regarding the reproductive health, ma'am. So once we create awareness among them, I think they would automatically know about this sex education when they come to the college days, madam.
No, but among adolescents, they are very crazy about their body. As a doctor, you also know that
yes, ma'am,
a lot of hormonal changes that goes inside the body at the age of adolescence.
Yes,
so how to make them aware of their body, of their healthy body, so that you have to stop the cases of rising teenage pregnancy also. So what are the ways you would suggest?
Madam, I can think of the behavioral changes first, and also counseling to the parents as well, how to deal with the children. And we should also make parents to have continuous surveillance among the children also, madam. For example, what they are doing through their mobile phones, etc. So up to maybe certain age, they can have such type of surveillance on them. And at the last, madam, finally, they should also be very much aware of their own things also, madam.
Okay. My last question to you, TB still is not eradicated from our country.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? There is important initiative also has been launched by our Honorable Prime Minister as well.
Yes,
why so? Why we have not been able to overcome with the problem of TB, the disease like TB?
Madam, as you rightly emphasized, we have a target of 2022 with regard to the National Health Policy of 2017, ma'am. But because of this pandemic, the sentinel surveillance which is being happened, or maybe because the TB is also a notifiable disease, ma'am, now. So that testing has been decreased. So even though the person is getting cough, so everything is under the disguise of COVID-19. So for the past 2 to 3 years, the surveillance has been decreased, madam. And also the testing has been decreased. I think this is one of the major reasons for again getting back to TB cases in the present scenario, madam.
And what about the role of nutrients, the food? That is also very important in beating TB. So how to ensure that in country like India?
Madam, you are absolutely correct with regard to the nutrition, madam. I feel even in the pandemic era, they have taken very good nutrition aspect. The nutrition aspect was well covered, madam. But as you rightly emphasized, there was also lacunae in the nutritional aspect. So government is taking through the Poshan Abhiyan for the children, or maybe the reformed PDS, Antyodaya Anna Yojana for the targeted population as well and the larger sector. And also there could be much more can be done, madam, in the nutrition aspect as you rightly emphasized.
Okay, thank you, Pavandatta.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pavan,
Sir.
imagine you are working as district magistrate in one of the rural districts of Hindi heartland, maybe Rajasthan, maybe Bihar or Uttar Pradesh. And as district magistrate, you find that the people there, the infant mortality is very high, you find the maternal mortality very high, you find low life expectancy, malnutrition and so on and so forth. And you know that medical infrastructure is extremely poor there, as you have yourself mentioned.
Yes.
There is no specialist doctor, there is no OPD, there is no OT, there is no pharmacist and all that.
Yes.
And you don't have sufficient funds to take care of all this. Under the circumstances, what innovative measures can you think of taking to give them a helping hand?
Sir, some things which I can think right now are we can go for crowdfunding of the following hospitals, sir, and one. And second could be we can use philanthropy also, sir. Maybe the eminent persons from the district who are maybe in the abroad or well settled. I think we can persuade them to come and dedicate their funds and maybe their time for that. These two steps can be done. And also as a district magistrate, sir, I should also implement the policies which are being made by the government. So I'll make sure that if any other challenges like leakages of funds are there, I'll make sure that all the funds would be utilized for the benefit of the healthcare sector in the rural India. Sir.
As Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, what do you think, what should be the capital of Andhra Pradesh and why? Imagine you are the Chief Minister, and where will you keep the capital and why?
Sir, I would make sure that I'll be keeping the capital at Vizag, sir, definitely, because it has got a very fabulous infrastructure and all the connectivity issues. Already it has been a very developed state. And amidst the political turmoil which is happening, I will make sure that development will start somewhere, sir, definitely. But I'll also make sure that the pre-contractual obligations of the farmers and all the stakeholders happened in the Amravati must be realized. And also the sub-regional aspirations of Rayalaseema region, which has been historically neglected, can also be considered, sir. So,
but if we shift the capital to Vizag, then what will happen to the unique scheme of land pooling?
Sir, as I already mentioned, we have to see that they are very much realized, sir. So land pooling, after the land pooling, they can bring the other infrastructure as promised, so that their land valuation can be increased. So I think this can be done, sir. It will not be in the name of the capitals only, the decentralized development.
Okay. Thank you very much. It was nice interacting with you. The interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you, sir. Sir, may I come in, sir?
Come in. Sit down, Pavan.
Thank you, sir.
Pavan, this is your first interview?
Yes, sir. This is my first attempt.
Attempt also?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Why have you opted for anthro instead of medical science?
Sir, one was initially there was a generally perception that humanities score well, sir. Finally, I thought in the exam marks do matter. So that is why I chose anthropology. Yes.
Good. Suppose if this question is asked, this should be the honest reply.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you know, you should reply honestly.
Yes.
Because it's not a question answer session, it's a test of your personality.
Yes.
And honesty will be seen while asking questions,
yes,
and it will be seen the way you answer to those questions, isn't it?
Yes.
You are a wonderful candidate, a very good candidate, very pleasing personality, very humble, very polite and all that. Only thing, I think, when pressure was exerted on you,
sir,
that you are a submissive person, not a humble person, then you buckled under pressure.
Yes.
And then you reacted. No, sir, who says I am a submissive person?
Okay, sir.
Isn't it? People, I mean, for the first time I am hearing I am a submissive person.
Okay, sir.
It should not, submissive doesn't mean, it doesn't have only a negative connotation.
Okay, sir.
It also has a positive connotation. You see, humility is more about one's personal quality and attitude.
Yes, sir.
While submissiveness is more about dynamics of relationship. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And also dynamics of situation.
Yes, sir.
So in your relationship to a boss and all that, if you are being submissive, doesn't mean that you are a subordinate person in personality.
Okay.
So you could have answered that way instead of reacting to that.
Sure, sir.
So wherever such kind of pressure is applied,
Okay, sir.
try to take that pressure
Okay.
and then think for a moment and then reflect.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so instead of saying that it goes in a bad taste, because questions are deliberately asked to unsettle you, isn't it? Such questions. So you should take in its stride.
Okay,
That is number one. Second issue was almost after every second, third question, you asked for a time.
Yes, sir.
This is not good.
Okay.
This is not good, because this will impact your overall performance.
Okay, sir.
Once or twice one can understand,
Okay,
but
sir.
every time you collect your idea, just collect your ideas for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, no issues.
Okay, sir.
But try to quickly collect your ideas and then come up with
Okay, sir.
your answers.
Sure, sir.
So please don't ever seek permission on every second or third question.
Okay, sure.
Okay, that is very important. Now you are a doctor, so many issues are there.
Yes.
We try to touch upon certain issues.
Yes, sir.
There are many other issues
Issues.
which may be discussed. What exactly will be discussed, nobody knows.
Yes, sir.
But then you see, traditional system of medicine is also very important for a medical practitioner to understand.
Yes, sir.
Its genesis and how it is practiced and what are the benefits and all that. Because this is one of your allied activity, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you should be, you have a lot of time, prepare fully on this traditional system of medicines. And yoga is also equally important, because you have indicated all that.
Yes, sir.
So update your information on yoga also. You are from Tirupati.
Yes, sir.
Tirupati district itself has come into being only recently, about 1 year back or so.
Yes, sir.
So the importance of the district, what is the economy of the district, the economic model of the district basically.
Okay.
So that is very important,
Yes,
because this is a very rich district because of the temple. So importance of temple, and in that context only some question was asked about the collection and all that. Have some information on that.
Sure, sir.
Some information on that, and then related question will be who manages the funds.
Yes.
There in Tirupati, there is a trust and all that.
Yes, sir.
So trust is managing that. Why government cannot take over the trust directly?
Okay.
Not only that temple, but all temples and all that. That kind of a question you should expect, and then you have to have your answers readily available.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Healthcare issues, rural areas, related to women, related to children and all that. Vaccine diplomacy.
Yeah.
There is another important issue. So on the international affairs, we did not, because of paucity of times, we did not ask you questions.
Yes, sir.
But vaccine diplomacy is one thing which is very important. The role of India in that, the role of other countries, and how it has been playing till date, isn't it? Then you have opportunities for India as a result of COVID.
Yes, sir.
How it has provided immense opportunities to India, particularly in the field of pharmaceutical products.
Correct.
That is very important. So that you prepare. Then I believe mental health, tuberculosis, these are all part of this only. So just get an update on that. There is a gentleman called Mr. Raja Reddy of Tirupati. Have you heard his name?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I hope you are aware about him.
Yes,
So no further questions. South Indian movies, you see, it's a very hackneyed question asked.
Yes.
Any candidate coming from that side, and it's true also. Why South Indian movies are so popular there?
Correct.
Why South Indian heroes are worshipped in the South and all that? There you try to avoid is taking that question. Don't avoid taking that question. Whatever a question is asked, even if you don't know, say, sir, I don't have very limited knowledge because I don't watch. If you don't watch, you state.
Yes.
But based on whatever little knowledge I have, based on that I am telling you.
Okay.
Then that makes that you want to take that question. You don't impression which we felt that probably you wanted to avoid, particularly in view of your movie, your song getting Oscar award,
yes.
and then the BAFTA award and all that. It's all the more important that you should be doing. Not only that, the theme of this film and where it was shot, who are the characters and all that.
Okay.
Because you are coming from Andhra Pradesh and it was shot in Tamil Nadu, you should be aware of all those things.
Sure.
Otherwise, you are a very good candidate, you have a lot of time, just prepare on all this.
Okay, sir.
And only make two things, that don't ask for time every now and then. That is very important, because that becomes very irritating.
Okay, sir. Okay.
And prepare Tirupati and medical science. All aspects, not only related to your field of activity, but also on the large, look at the larger canvas. How opportunities India has been trying to seize the opportunities as a result of post-COVID. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All the best to you.
Thank you, sir.
If you have any specific question to ask, feel free to ask.
Sir, especially regarding the controversial questions, sir, for example, live-in relationships or maybe...
Take a very balanced view.
Okay, sir.
Because you see, you are a prospective civil servant. You can't be taking a very extreme statement and all that.
Yes, sir.
Always try to weigh pros and cons of alternatives.
Okay, sir.
Instead of being very, unless you are pushed to the wall, what exactly?
Yeah.
My decision will lie on the facts and circumstances. Sir.
Oh.
I can't be giving a off-the-cuff statement just based on half truth and half facts.
Okay, sir.
So that kind of you have to, because board will like to see whether you are able to buckle under pressure.
Okay, sir.
Always try to take a very, very balanced view.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.